Awesome. I'm here with Jim Lockey. Jim, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, man. Thanks. Yeah.
Cool. Well, welcome to Bangor. I'm really sorry about the rain.
It's all good, man. It's time of year and stuff, I guess.
Well, I was saying before, we don't get many bands here at all. I mean, this was a sort of a huge thing to have this tour coming through.
Yeah.
Is it special to come to the places sort of off the beaten path where people don't normally go?
Yeah, I think that people really appreciate it when you go to places that aren't like Londons and Manchesters and stuff. Yeah, it seems like everyone's out just to have a really good time, and everyone's coming out early for the shows and stuff. Yes, it's great.
Well, cool. And you've got the band as well, the Solemn Sun.
Yes.
Yeah, and do you think it's important as a sort of singer-songwriter type thing to be hitting those sort of places that aren't usually, so big on the map?
Yeah, I think so, because I think there's a lot of fans waiting out there, and like with the internet and stuff, like music appreciation, I guess, is so widespread that like it's important to go there to give live shows to those people that can't normally get to a show, I guess.
Definitely. And the sort of genre you play, folk rock, it's not so mainstream, and but it really does seem like it's coming back. I mean, you've got Frank Turner, who's had huge success. You've got bands like Mumford and Sons as well. Do you think that folk rock's on the rise again?
Yeah, I think so. I think there was like a folk thing probably about like 10 years ago or something as it started to build, and I think everyone's interested in just getting a bit heavier, and they want to have like a bigger sound to their folks, that sort of sound now, so yeah.
Definitely. And what are the other bands you've looked at on the scene which you think are sort of really special?
I think Dry the River are pretty like epic, really, like because they've got a nice sort of heavier sound, like in as part of their sound they have like really heavy bits as well, and as a live band they're just stunning, really. So yeah.
And their bands, what were the bands that made you want to do this when you were young? I imagine people like Billy Bragg, or was it something completely different?
Yeah, I mean, I got into Billy Bragg like quite late on, to be honest. I think like Counting Crows are probably the first like folk band I listened to, but then they're not really that folky at all, really.
Yeah.
But it kind of built from there. But yeah, I mostly listened to sort of like punk bands, really. Like, yeah.
Well, with both punk and folk, it's the sort of being on the road. It seems like a really important thing to both the fans and the band.
Yes.
What do you think is like the best thing about being on the road?
I think it's hanging out with your best friends, to be honest. Like the shows are amazing, don't get me wrong, but like having that time where like you create this new like family basically on tour is it's amazing.
Yeah. And I mean, have you got any interesting stories you can share with us from the road, from this tour or any other?
I don't know really. We've Frank's been joining us on the band tour, like playing the song and stuff, and then we did the last show in Bath the other day, and he brought on his whole band and his crew all dressed up in animal outfits, dancing around stage, which was pretty good, to be honest, pretty impressive.
Yeah. And do you prefer playing with the band, or do you like being on your own?
I like the band, man. I miss it, to be honest. The first show on my own yesterday was so nerve-wracking. Yeah. Hopefully I'll be a little bit more settled today. But yeah, I do definitely prefer it with the band, yeah, for sure.
Well, that's great. And I mean, obviously you're on Extra Mile as well, which is just an amazing community of all sorts of like punk, folk.
Yeah.
Did you pick that label as one you wanted to go for?
It's the first one we went to, basically, with the album, yeah, because it seemed like the right place to go, and like we have friends that are on that label as well, and since we've been on it, it's been great because everyone just comes out to your shows, like people from the label and stuff. Yeah, it's nice. It's a real good community of people there.
Yeah, and it's not a sort of mainstream label, but there are people who've come from sort of bigger labels and gone to Extra Mile. Like we had Sonic Boom 6 have just gone on there.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that your favourite thing about the label, that it's just that, it's just brilliant, and it's the same with the whole community?
Yeah, I mean, it's the community thing for sure, but like we definitely joined it at like the best time, I think, because like XM's now getting to that point where it's a really big contender and independent label, I think. Like they've got like Against Me and stuff on there. Like they're really starting to tap into the American market as well. So yeah, it's great.
Awesome. Well, where do you want to see you and your band go in the future?
That's a good question. I guess we just want to tour as much as we can. We're pretty much away from now until like May, apart from having Christmas off. And we're going to try and go to the States, I think, a bit next year, and Europe as well. So awesome. Yeah, so busy, but good.
Awesome. Well, some of our listeners may not have heard your music. Yeah. We like to end all our interviews by getting you to pick a song and introduce it that you think sums up your sound.
Okay. I think the song that probably best does it is England's Dead by us, on the latest album.
Cool. Where's that?
You can get it on Spotify and stuff, I guess. The album's called Death. So,
awesome. Yeah. Well, Jim, thank you so much for your time.
Absolute pleasure.
And I'll see you later on.
Cheers.
Great.